Good day to everyone. Of course, this is David D.C. Howard, your Peer Forward coach. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to explain our Peer Forward scoreboard for all of you that are watching this recording. And so this year, for the 2017-18 school year, is that we have made a great Google data form that you can use in order to input your data that will allow your data manager to actually come in here and be able to work on this, as well as also you possibly as the advisor to work on this as well. You're going to get a one-pager that's going to explain all of these various tabs, but I wanted to provide this right now in order for you to be able to see this, as well as also be able to have the opportunity to utilize this for your own personal use. And so if you remember in our orientation meeting, we talked about being able to have data updated on a every month basis in order for us to be able to keep track of how you're doing with regards to campaigns as well as information. Well, this is the site in which we're looking to do that in. And so what you're going to see here is that we're going to focus on three major tabs. We're going to focus on the dashboard tab, we're going to focus on the campaign tracking tab, and we're going to focus on the enrollment tab. So right now we are looking at the dashboard tab, and when you look at the dashboard tab, it's really great in the fact that you're able to see all of these great bar graphs and information with regards to campaign activities. This is the actual scoreboard for Lincoln County High School in Hamlin, West Virginia. Shout out to Mike McCormick and his great team over there. And so we're just looking at the information here. And what you'll find is that we're looking to actually have information included on a monthly basis for these particular areas on the dashboard tab. And so what you can do is that you can input the information for the actual number of seniors that have submitted one college application, as well as the number of seniors that have completed 3 or more college applications, as well as also making sure that the total number of seniors are included here. And so you can actually just make sure that these 3 tabs are updated on a consistent basis, and that will ensure that you have all of your information set up for a campaign apply. Now, what I'm going to show you here in just a moment is that if you don't want to just do this, but your team actually wants to have a place where they're able to actually track the information student by student, we also have that opportunity in the PeerForward scoreboard as well. But I'm going to show you that in just a second. So these 3 tabs that I'm highlighting here are the 3 major areas that you want to make sure are updated on a monthly basis. And then all of this information over here will be updated in another tab that I'm going to show you in just a second. All right. So once again, when you are coming into the PeerForward scoreboard, these 3 tabs, if you're just going to use the dashboard tab, should be updated on a monthly basis. Now we're going to look at the campaign tracking tab. This is the next area that we want to make sure that you're updating on a monthly basis. And so as you can see, it lists your high school name. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, we're in the Lincoln County High School PeerForward scoreboard. And so what we want you to do on a monthly basis, and this can be something that your data manager and or your secretary and or your captain is able to do on a monthly basis, possibly even on a weekly basis when you guys meet outside of myself for your team huddles or for your advisor huddles, is that you're going to come in, you're going to actually list out what campaign this is. And so for campaign apply in the scoreboard is called the application campaign. For campaign complete or campaign, if you will, early, depending upon the area of the country that you're in, this is for our financial aid campaign. And then campaign connect, being able to actually connect with the students in the 9th, 10th, and 11th grade levels is the campaign connect campaign. You're going to want to input which type of campaign it is. Then you're going to let us know what is the date of the activity. So let's say right now it is currently October 2nd. So let's say you actually did this activity on this past Friday, which would have been September 30th. Let's say the name of the activity, let's say it was a career fair. All right. We're going to input what was the type of activity. And so for instance, it was going back to a career fair for 9th through 11th graders in collaboration with Marshall University. I know that Mike's going to like that. All right. Did 12th graders participate in this activity? So because we mentioned it was for 9th and 11th graders, you're going to switch this drop-down box to no, or you could have typed it in either way, and it would pull up. Did 11th graders participate? Yes, so that's there. Did 10th graders participate? Yes. Did 9th graders participate? Yes. All right. We're going to say that because we didn't have any middle school students here, we're going to make sure that we click no on this, or it also has the NA if it's not applicable, and let's just say for the sake of Lincoln County that that's not applicable, so we'll say NA. And then if PeerForward was assisted or collaborated with another team or department, and so let's say that they participated with Jessica over in guidance, as that is the guidance counselor over at Lincoln County. And would you consider this activity as a success? And so we're going to say yes, students were able to complete a career profile, and students also had the chance to simulate careers. So let's say, for instance, I know that at Lincoln County they have a great agricultural and CTE program. So literally you had some of the various industries of farming as well as planting that were able to come out to that, and so they literally were able to simulate some of their careers. All right. And then estimated number of students that participated in this activity. So we're going to say that literally because it was all of the 9th, 10th, 11th grade, we're going to put that as 151 to 200. All right. And so just so you guys are able to see, when we're able to put in all of that information, when we go back to the dashboard, we're going to see how that changed the information here. And so, for instance, campaign activities by grade is that now we're going to have that our 11th graders and our 10th graders now have a higher amount of activities, as well as also if we see here that our Connect campaign went up to 2 activities as well. So we're able to see that. And also know that when we were able to input that information is that now we have 2 Campaign Connect activities. If you go back here, when we were looking at, that's the goal setting. When we were looking at the activities, we added information for Campaign Connect, and that was also kind of a, if you will, placeholder Campaign Connect. So that's now there, and then we're able to also see the number of activities by grade. Okay, and see, and you also have, the information about current versus prior year FAFSA completion rates. And by the way, just so you guys know, this is not an indication of the FAFSA completion rates for Lincoln County High School. This is a lot of placeholder information. All right. The third place that I wanted to show you guys was our enrollment tab, which this is a question that you should have received from many of your coaches throughout this time frame over the past month as you've had your goal setting meetings, is we wanted to know the number of 12th graders on track to graduate, 11th, 10th, and 9th graders, as well as also the information for the class of 2017 that just graduated, as this information will help guide a lot of the information on the dashboard as well. And so know that your coach will probably ask you for this by that October 13th time frame. So just another passing point. So that is currently, today is the 2nd, so literally not this upcoming Friday, but the following Friday. If we haven't already asked you this information, we'll get this information from you. And then to update it again on March 1st. All right. And so these 3 tabs, once again, the dashboard tab that we referenced, the campaign tracking tab, and the enrollment tab are going to be the main tabs that we're going to focus on throughout the year. But there is another tab, the other 2 tabs that you can focus on as well that we're going to look at in just a second. And so if you remember, as I talked about with regards to these 3, if you will, areas, or these 3 particular spaces that we want you to fill in: total number of seniors, the seniors submitting a college application, and the 3+ college apps, as well as the seniors that are submitting 1 or more applications. We mentioned that there's another place that you can collect this data student by student, and that actually is our applications tab. So if you click on the applications tab, this provides you, as well as your PeerForward team, a great place where they can actually, student by student, input this information. And so you're able to see literally if you have a student IDs, which most schools rather do, as well as also being able to input their first and last name, their email address, if you feel as if that's a great way to differentiate between two students. So let's say, for instance, you have two Daquan West, and you know one is Daquan West at Gmail versus one is Daquan West at Yahoo. You're able to then kind of differentiate between the two. You're able to input the number of applications that particular student has submitted, and then from you being able to input this information, it will automatically populate whether or not a student would therefore qualify in the category of one or more college apps being submitted or three or more college apps being submitted. So like for instance, right now, if we look at Jasmine Hoffman, right now she only has two applications submitted, which is still good. But if you notice that it allows her to have a green for 1+ applications submitted, but a red for 3 or more applications submitted. So if we actually change that to 3, notice that it automatically changes the actual space here, and now it turned rather from red to green, letting her know that we now have 3+ college applications in the system for her. So this is another great place for your data manager as well as secretary to be able to input this information. For those who are using Naviance across the country, it's a very easy, if you will, copy and paste. If you're able to then get the data tab, I believe, or run a report that would therefore give you an Excel spreadsheet, and then you're able to literally copy and paste the information in there. Or if you're just a school that you don't have the ability to share the sensitive information with students with regards to names and social security numbers and etc., and you want your student team, your PeerForward team to be able to have another place to keep up with this data, this is a great idea for them to be able to do that, as well as also by them inputting the information here, it automatically updates on the actual report. And so now before it was just 60%, now we see that it's went up to 63% of students that have submitted 3 or more college apps. The final section I want to show you guys is our campaign metrics section, which is the goal setting tab. And so each of you should have, at this point, if not by the end of this month, being October 2017, had the opportunity to have a goal setting meeting with your coach. Well, in doing that, we talked about the various goals that College Summit has, or for the PeerForward program for 2017-18 year, where we want you to be able to have 60% of your seniors apply to 3 or more colleges, to where you're able to also increase your FAFSA completion rates, not just your submission rates, but your completion rates, meaning students having a student aid report and their EFC by 5 percentage points. So for instance, if you were at 50% last year, that you'll be able to be at 55% this year by March 1st, 2018, as well as also for Campaign Connect, that you're able to do 2 high impact activities that will be able to help students in 9th, 10th, and 11th grade be able to connect what they're currently doing now to a potential college or career or post-secondary plan. And so being able to do 2 of those in the year, 1 in the fall, 1 in the spring. Well, in case that you want to have a centralized place where you're able to look at that, as well as your team's able to look at that, you can actually input this information here. And so for those who've already had your training camps, a lot of them we talked about having a goal by December 1st. You can input that information here, as well as also what would be your March 1st goal with regards to your campaigns, as well as your June 1st goal for that. And then we as coaches can come back, as well as you guys as a team, even as advisors, you can come back in and actually update this information as well, as where you actually landed on December 1st, where you actually landed on March 1st, and where you actually landed on June 1st. And so those are all 5 of our various tabs with regards to our PeerForward scoreboard. This is, of course, once again, David D.C. Howard as one of your PeerForward coaches. I hope this informational video was able to help you understand what the PeerForward scoreboard is all about, and that if you have any further questions, feel free to contact your PeerForward coach, as they'll be more than happy to help you in assisting in this process. I hope you have a great rest of your day, have a great school year, and we look forward to absolutely phenomenal results with PeerForward.